Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Steve,
And I'm Scott,
and together we are Backyard Musings.
the Science and Technology Channel.
Okay, got really interesting. If you're a veteran, um, this is going to be really interesting. Well, I mean, even if you're not a veteran, too. An intriguing new study suggests that increasing your intake of fruits, dietary fiber, dairy, and caffeine could help mitigate tinnitus symptoms. Researchers speculate that these benefits might stem from the diet's protective effects on blood vessels and nerves, coupled with their anti inflammatory and antioxidant properties. However, the evidence is preliminary and further studies are needed to verify the relationship. This research was published March 1st, 2025, in the open access journal BMJ Open. Would you like to know more?
Okay, so before we get going here, the other day we talked about sleep habits, and
Yeah.
caffeine and dairy was not good,
Yeah, caffeine, and you're right. Caffeine is not good in any instance, I guess, except for this.
except for tinnitus symptoms.
Right. So
Okay,
that doesn't necessarily mean go out and start drinking or using caffeine. I mean, fruit, dietary fiber. Like what is that fiber? Bran. Yeah.
okay. Increased consumption of fruit, dietary fiber, dairy products, and caffeine may be associated with a reduced risk of tinnitus, which is ringing in the ears. The researchers stress that their findings can't establish a direct causal relationship and should be interpreted with care because of the low quality of the evidence. But they say possible reasons may involve the protective effects of these diets on blood vessels and nerves, as well as their anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties.
So I think what's going on here is these guys are using AI to sift through records, and they've got parameters, and they're seeing what percentages is best, and they're not telling you what to do or how to do it. So that I think that's what that caveat was about. So we do need more research. Tinnitus is the perception of sound, ringing, buzzing, or clicking when there's no external source. And I don't even know if perception is the right word to use, because to us, you got tinnitus, you can hear the ringing. Data suggests it affects around, my wife just said, can affects around 14% of adults worldwide and is associated with depression, anxiety, stress, and in severe cases, suicide. There is no cure, but treatments such as counseling, behavioral therapy, medication, and hearing aids can help to reduce symptoms.
Okay, is this, I mean, occasional ringing in the ears is not the same as tinnitus, right? Tinnitus is like you're hearing buzzing or ringing almost constantly.
No, well, no, it's not. Well, I'll tell you. I can't tell the difference if it's off and on or I've tuned it out to where I only hear it where there's just complete quiet. I don't know.
So you've suffered from this then.
I do, and I don't know if I tune it out my body or if it just comes and goes. I don't know.
Okay. Diet can also have a significant impact on tinnitus. It's thought that eating high quality nutrients can have a positive effect on the hearing by improving blood flow to the inner ear and reducing oxidative damage and inflammation. But previous studies show conflicting results, and it's still uncertain which specific foods worsen or relieve symptoms.
Okay, to explore this further, the researchers trawled research databases, yeah, looking for, with AI, looking for studies linking tinnitus and diet in adults published up to May 2024. They found 8 observational studies involving 301,533 people that assessed 15 dietary factors using validated questionnaires that were of suitable quality to include in their analysis. So that's a pretty good size, 301,000.
Yeah. The dietary factors included carbohydrates, caffeine, eggs, fruits, fibers, fat, meat, protein, sugar, fish, vegetables, and dairy. Well, that just about covers it, right? The
Yeah.
combined findings reveal that increased consumption of fruit, dietary fiber, dairy products, and caffeine were associated with a reduced occurrence of tinnitus. These reductions were 35% of fruit intake, 9% for dietary fiber, 17% for dairy products, and 10% for caffeine intake. So, since talking about this, do you try to increase your intake of these things?
Well, we just published this story just now, so I'm going to try. I'm not going to increase my caffeine, but all these look like the fruit. I'm just going to stick to berries, like strawberries, blueberries, cranberries, whatever berries, raspberries, and then dietary fiber. I'm going to have to research that and see what I could eat for that. But dairy products, just as an aside, we just my wife's from Idaho, and Idaho Reed's Dairy chocolate milk. They make Reed's Dairies there. They make this chocolate milk that is liquid gold. It is so good, and I found it in Salt Lake, and we're bringing it back.
It's not like the 1% stuff that you buy at.
No. This is chocolate milk that has like potato flakes in it, so it's really thick, and it is so delicious. I'm telling you, it's liquid gold.
All right. No associations were found between other dietary factors and tinnitus, and results were consistent with further analysis, although the authors note that the association between caffeine intake and tinnitus remains contentious. Okay. The authors acknowledge the observational design of included studies, causality, is that causality cannot be established, and the relatively small number of included studies may have led to certain conventionally accepted dietary factors such as vegetables and eggs not demonstrating significant differences. So,
however, they suggest that, quote, the primary underlying mechanisms may involve the protective effects of these diets on blood vessels and nerves, as well as their anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, and say further large-scale studies are needed to complement and verify the relationship between dietary intake and tinnitus.
Funding for the research was provided by the National Natural Science Foundation of China, the Sichuan Natural Science Foundation, and the Jinling Scholars Scientific Research Promotion Plan of the Zhengdu University of Traditional Chinese Medicine and Innovative Team. Dr. Grasshopper at the head of that. So you threw that in there just for me, I'm sure. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, folks, we're not communist China propagandists. These don't look like they're communist institutions. They look like areas of research, but like with a grain of salt, they're just taking, data and correlating it and making there needs to be more study on this. So a lot of people have tinnitus, so I thought it would be interesting to share this story.
Yeah. So I don't know if I've ever talked to anybody other than the person I'm talking to now that has suffered from this, but there probably are people that just don't mention it. But occasionally I'll have like just a real quick ringing in the ear, but it goes away, and never clicking. So
yeah, I don't hear clicking either. Sometimes buzzing, but it's a ringing usually. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
all right, folks. Thanks for joining us.
Take care, everyone. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks.